Were you a fan of McLaren's mini-DRS? Should the FIA have done more? Did it help McLaren gain an advantage this season? Let's get into it. Welcome back to On Track GP. There has already been plenty of discussion and debate about McLaren's mini-DRS. We'll be looking at different perspectives on the tech and whether it was legal or not. Just briefly, after footage had emerged that showed that the top element of the MCL38's rear wing was rotating back at speed on the long straights at Azerbaijan and appeared to design in such a way that this change in attitude opened up the slot gap and therefore reduced rear wing drag to offer a top speed boost, it has been dubbed a mini-DRS. Now we've got that out of the way, let's get into it. Nico Rosberg has praised McLaren for their ability to maximise grey areas of legality after the team's rear wing design sparked controversy. The discussion began after Oscar Piastri's win in Azerbaijan Grand Prix, where footage showed McLaren's rear wing creating a slot gap at high speeds, reducing drag and boosting performance. This feature, labelled a mini-DRS, has drawn attention from other teams like Red Bull and Ferrari. In response to the scrutiny, McLaren voluntarily offered to modify their rear wing after consulting with the FIA. Despite this, McLaren team boss Andrea Stella downplayed the significance of the changes, suggesting that rival teams were becoming distracted by the issue. Stella emphasised that the rear wing was fully legal and brushed off the controversy as a red herring, noting that McLaren's focus remained on developing their car and delivering results on the track. Stella also pointed out that the drama surrounding McLaren's rear wing might benefit the team, as it seemed to shift competitors' attention away from their own performance. He reiterated that McLaren had passed all necessary tests and the team was confident that their approach was within the rules. Stella used McLaren's strong qualifying performance in Singapore, where Lando Norris secured pole, as proof that their design changes had no negative impact. Rosberg applauded McLaren's approach, noting that the team had become experts at pushing the boundaries of legality in Formula One. He mentioned that McLaren was not only experimenting with the rear wing, but also likely testing similar innovations on the front wing, highlighting the team's relentless pursuit of performance. Rosberg praised McLaren for being on it and pushing limits in their quest to compete at the highest level. Norris's dominant victory in Singapore further underscored McLaren's strength. He finished 21 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen, closing the championship gap to 52 points with 6 rounds remaining. McLaren's success amid their rear wing controversy demonstrated their ability to stay focused on delivering results despite the distraction and discussions surrounding the car's legality. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri of McLaren have responded to the recent scrutiny surrounding the car's rear wing design. The questions that have been raised have brought scrutiny from various different places, including the FIA, who are now investigating whether additional rules about flexi wings are necessary. Despite this, McLaren's rear wing has passed all mandatory deflection tests. Norris expressed pride in McLaren's innovation, insisting the car conforms to the rules. He highlighted that Formula One is about exploring every area of the regulations to gain a competitive advantage. The McLaren driver is pleased with how the team has pushed the limits of the sport within legal boundaries, acknowledging that other teams are likely using similar approaches that may not have come under the same scrutiny. He emphasised that McLaren's design has been fully approved by the FIA and he's proud of the team's forward-thinking approach. Piastri, meanwhile, downplayed the significance of the mini-DRS, asserting that it was not the primary reason for McLaren's competitiveness. He admitted that he was unaware of the rear wing's behaviour until after the Baku race and emphasised that it was not a grey area since it had passed all FIA tests. Piastri also remarked that gaining performance without breaking the rules is essential for the championship-winning team, echoing Norris's sentiments about the importance of innovation. Both drivers highlighted the importance of maximising performance within the regulations, with Norris emphasising that teams, including McLaren, are constantly searching for new ways to gain an advantage. While McLaren's rear wing has drawn attention, they believe that many other teams are doing similar things that have gone unnoticed. For Norris and Piastri, this approach is part of the game in Formula One, and both drivers remain supportive of their team's efforts to remain competitive at the highest level. Both the drivers have embraced the attention the car's design has attracted, viewing it as a sign that their team is pushing the boundaries of what's possible in Formula One. Both Norris and Piastri believe that exploring every opportunity within the rules is key to competing at the front, and they remain confident in McLaren's legal standing amid the ongoing discussions about the rear wing and potential more discussions about their front wing. McLaren's decision to modify its rear wing design and eliminate the so-called mini-DRS feature has generated a lot of discussion since the Singapore Grand Prix. This rear wing, which had allowed them to reduce drag and boost performance on straights, became a focal point in the title battle between McLaren, Red Bull and Ferrari. Despite the changes, it's unlikely to drastically affect McLaren's championship campaign in the remaining races. The mini-DRS wasn't present throughout the season. It was only introduced at the Belgian Grand Prix and intended for use on low drag circuits such as Belgium, Monza and Baku. The wing was significantly developed for these tracks to enhance straight line speed, rather than being a regular feature across all downforce levels. With the FIA intervening in Singapore, McLaren's performance won't be impacted for races on high downforce circuits, such as the Singapore race we just witnessed. McLaren's rivals, notably Red Bull and Ferrari, may have initially hoped that losing the mini-DRS would have severely hampered McLaren's progress. However, this design would only have been used again at one other venue this season, Las Vegas. The remaining circuits, which include Austin, Brazil, Qatar and Abu Dhabi, require medium downforce, while Singapore and Mexico require high downforce configurations, meaning McLaren will only miss the mini-DRS feature at Las Vegas. Ferrari's team principal Fred Vasseur expressed frustration at the advantage McLaren gained by using the rear wing before the FIA stepped in. The minor time differences between the top performing cars at Monza could have altered race outcomes if the wing had been addressed earlier. Still, McLaren can feel proud of the success that they achieved with the design in previous races, capitalising on their improved performance at low drag circuits. McLaren CEO Zak Brown defended the team's ingenuity, noting that their rear wing passed all FIA tests. He emphasised that the team's success with the rear wing is a testament to their engineers' clever design solutions, and that in Formula One, teams are constantly looking for ways to gain performance advantages. Brown also welcomed the intense competition, seeing it as a positive sign of McLaren's return to the front of the grid. With the FIA scrutinising McLaren's rear wing, it raises questions about whether McLaren feels unfairly targeted. Sources suggest that McLaren believes other teams may be pushing the boundaries with their own rear wing designs, potentially exploiting similar aerodynamic tricks. This could involve flexing the slot gap or rotating the entire rear wing structure to gain performance advantages. McLaren's statement following the FIA's intervention hinted at their suspicion that other teams may be engaging in similar tactics. The team has requested that the FIA also investigate the compliance of other teams' rear wings, indicating that they are not alone in pushing the regulations to their limits. In the end, while the mini-DRS controversy has generated plenty of discussion, it's unlikely to significantly alter McLaren's championship run. The team has made the most of their clever rear wing design in key races, and although it will no longer feature the remaining races, McLaren remains competitive and focused on further improving their own performance. With McLaren expecting little impact from tweaking their mini-DRS rear wing, CEO Zak Brown said it made sense to show there is no secret sauce at play. The wing attracted attention from key figures like Red Bull's Helmut Marko and Ferrari's Fred Vasseur. Brown explained that the team proactively made minor changes after discussion with the FIA, seeing no major performance loss in doing so. This move was intended to show rivals that McLaren's recent success wasn't due to any secret loophole. Brown emphasised that McLaren's rise in form, especially after Andrea Stella took over as team principal in 2023, isn't down to a single technical trick. Instead, it's due to the overall innovation and engineering efforts that have turned McLaren into a championship contender. He acknowledged that scrutiny is natural when a team is performing well, and that rivals will always try to slow down the competition by raising concerns about car designs. McLaren's willingness to modify the wing despite passing all FIA tests reflects their confidence in their car's overall performance. Brown saw the attention from rival teams as a compliment, noting that if McLaren were not leading the Constructors' Championship, no one would care about their designs. As of now, McLaren leads Red Bull by 41 points with 6 races remaining in the 2024 season. It should be noted that the FIA is closely monitoring the flexibility of bodywork on all cars and reserves the right to request modifications during the season. However, if a team successfully passes deflection tests and adheres to the regulations and technical directives, they are considered in full compliance. The FIA is currently reviewing data and any additional evidence from the Baku Grand Prix and is considering mitigating measures for future implementation. The FIA has previously focused on gathering data to inform potential regulatory changes for 2025, mainly around load tests that effectively police the technical regulations on flexible bodywork. The FIA and all teams are aware of the complexity of policing flexible bodywork and is trying to gather as much data as possible and make any adjustments deemed necessary on a more informed basis longer term. So what do you think? Has the mini-DRS had a huge effect on this year's championship? Should the FIA have come down harder on McLaren? Was this innovation or cheating? As always, let me know in the comments. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Keep the pedal to the metal, and I'll see you in the next video.